Hello, I'm your host, Leonard Duncan. Welcome to a new episode of ATV-TALK and Motorsports Podcast. Please join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We bring you interviews with industry professionals, live events, live news about the motorsports industry in every episode. Enjoy the show. Whether we are out riding with our friends and family or racing in extreme environments, we all need good tires. That's why I recommend GBC Power Sports Tires, a division of Greenball Corp. Their products, which include XC Master, Mini Master, and Groundbuster 3, are what leading professionals in the ATV-UTV industry are using. You can get your tires at greenballtires.com or find them on Instagram as GBC Tires for further inquiries. Are you looking for the best suspension technology for your sport ATV? Look no further than Elka Suspension, the industry leader in sport ATV suspension technology. With championship wins in prestigious events such as the Dakar Rally, SCORE, Best in the Desert, ATV MX, Cross Country, and Works, Elka Suspension has established itself as the go-to choice for athletes and enthusiasts alike. But they don't just stop at ATVs. They're constantly expanding into new markets, including UTVs, trucks, SUVs, pit bikes, snowmobiles, and more. Their commitment to innovation and quality means they're always looking to improve and adapt so you can enjoy a smooth ride wherever you go. Want to learn more about what Elka Suspension can do for you? Visit their website at elkasuspension.com or give them a call at 450-655-4855. They will always be happy to answer your questions and help you find the perfect suspension solution for your needs. Cody Collier, welcome back to ATV-TALK. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Leonard. How we doing?
I'm doing outstanding. Hey, I know that you're a busy guy. You got a lot of things happening. You're getting ready for 2024, and you got a lot of big things happening in your life.
Oh yeah. I got engaged to my fiance, Lacy. We got a puppy this winter. Just doing the house stuff and prepping for the 24 season, like you said. It's busy for sure.
So you mentioned something about a bunch of flowers on the pool table. What's going on with that?
Yeah. No, we're all set up. We're just prepping, just trying to get ahead of the game. So whenever we pick the date, it's just press play and we're ready to roll.
Oh, nice. So do you think you guys are going to pick a date soon?
Yeah. We're looking in August and just try. I'm supposed to race the Canada 8-hour this year with Gabriel now, the Canadian Waka Flocka. So just waiting on a date on the 8-hour to work around. But we're looking in August, hopefully.
What an amazing gal you got there that'll work around your race schedule to get married.
Oh yeah. She knows what's up. She knew what she got into. So
that's incredible. Congratulations, by the way, on that. And a lot of conversations happened between us over 2023. We did I believe it was 11 race reports.
Yep. Yeah, I thought I was sick at one and we missed the first round.
Right. And so we did 10 and then we did
all 10 to 12 round seasons. But Josh Merritt subbed in for me at Florida or Georgia. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, one round. And then we missed the first one because I'm a knucklehead.
No, I didn't think of it until we were down. I think I texted you Thursday about it. Evening about it. So just no, it may happen for round 2.
I was in Texas doing a video for 4130 Motorsports. And it didn't even dawn on me what was going on because we could have done it. I just was not understanding that it was right then.
Oh no, you had things going on and it was a new thing and no, we made it happen, man.
Right. And you had a long season. You had a battle all year with Brandon and Wolf. I mean, you guys bounced back and forth, first, second, third.
I mean, it was a tough year.
Yeah, no, it was a good year, good competitive year. Landon really came to play every single round. Just he just seemed to have bad luck this year. Just one thing after another just didn't line up right for him. Brandon had some good getaway rides when me and Landon were having issues, and then we had a lot of really really close, good tight racing too.
Yeah, you guys, all three of you guys seem to do really, really well and have a good year. Um, I I know that you always rode the 850
Yep.
and they discontinued that model. How is that going to affect Cody Collier coming up in 2024?
No, it's not going to affect me at all. Just got to be more careful with the throttle. With me, the 850, it just saved a few axles, saved the quad a little bit more. But now I know how to ride the things. I'm, two-time champ now, so I know how to ride the things. I've ridden 1,000s before. It was just a longevity thing. But everyone's on the same machine, so no excuses.
You think the 1,000 is a little harder on the drivetrain than the 850 was?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely got more pep, more torque, and it just bites harder and puts more tension on everything, and just makes it harder for on all that for 2 hours.
Had you thought about trying to find some old 850s and racing those?
I mean, we have a brand new 850 motor sitting on a shelf for just in cases, but no, we're just running the 1,000. That's all that they have for sale at any showroom right now. We called pretty much everyone in the United States, had people look around for us trying to find an 850, but they're sold out. So yeah, we're on the 1,000, ready to roll.
And does the suspension and the ergonomics and where the handle are, the controls, is that all in the same place?
Yeah, so the chassis is 100% the same, but I think there's only like a 30-pound weight difference, if that, 30-pound weight difference. So it's nothing major. Nothing. I don't think I'll mess with the shocks for that, but I might have to. We'll see. I haven't tested on it yet, but should be good.
What's the horsepower rating difference?
I know that the 1,000 stock is 91, and then I don't know what the 850 is because me and my buddies were talking about it in the group in my group chat this off season. We're like moving up to 1,000. What's the horsepower? I didn't look up the 850.
Okay, so but you're positive it does make more power.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
I was
So
talking.
I'd be guessing that the 850 makes around 80, 85 at most.
I mean, that's a difference, but for the weight difference, it's maybe not that much of a difference.
To me, the power definitely. I feel it in sections here and there. Brandon and Landon were pulling on me this year, but just for a 2 hour race for what we do, I could manage with the 850. I just felt like I get a better finish more consistently with the 850.
I know you were having some back muscle issues last year. How are you in the off season? How is that going for you?
Oh, it's good. No, I've had back issues since I was 18. It pretty much crippled me, and that's why I switched to the 4x4. My back said no more with the sport quads, trying to run on that beat up track. But no, it's hit and miss. Some races it's track dependent. So like if it's Florida and Camp Coker and a really gnarly rough track, it's gonna hurt Sunday. It's just gonna hurt. So that's just all there is to it. I wear a kidney belt, a really nice supported kidney belt. Doing what I can for it. No, I feel good. I'm ready to roll, man.
What have you done different other than the 1,000? That you same tire package, same everything?
Yeah. Just I'm finalizing a couple deals, testing some new products still. So got a couple things in the works, but mostly the same team, 95% the same team, going for the three-peat.
Nice. I mean, it's nice that you still seem hungry. Most people win a couple championships and they get a little lackadaisical. You seem a little animated, almost like you're ready for the season to start now.
Oh yeah, no, last season was exciting, definitely some drama and excitement going on last season. I'm ready for round two, man.
Have you got to talk to any of the other guys in the class to see how they're preparing or anything new going on with them?
No, no, I don't really talk to anyone. Me and Justin Woods were good pals when he was in there. BNR Motorsports is just doing their thing mechanically. I'm not real pal with a lot of them. Me and Gavin Jenkins are good friends. I spent New Year's with Gavin Jenkins and his girlfriend and his fiance at his house. And plan on I guess this weekend, the 20th this weekend. Me and Gavin and my dad are driving to Florida Trail Riders on Saturday. After work on Friday, driving through the night to get there and race, and then there's a race in Kentucky on the way home Sunday. And us crazies are going to try to make a doubleheader this weekend.
Nice. You're going to ride the 4x4. Are you riding 1,000?
I'm running my bone stock YFZ 450. Just going out and having some fun and putting in some laps.
Oh, so you're going to ride a sport quad?
Yeah, no, I like a little cross training, change it up a little bit. So it's bone stock minus an ECU and an exhaust and tires, stock wheels, stock suspension. Got Nerf bars on there, handlebars, if you count that. But it's bone stock and my Light and McQueen machine.
As long as you have fun on it, that's all that matters, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's something I can just go out there and beat on and just have fun with it. Bone stock motor, so I can just let her eat.
Well, there you go. That and to race back to back. What are the lengths of the races? The race on Saturday and then the race on Sunday.
They're probably going to do like hour and a half in a lap. Knowing local series, that's normally how they do it. Maybe hour and a half, cap it. So like Florida is going to be 60, 70 degrees. I haven't looked at the weather in Florida. I assume it's just going to be beautiful. But then Sunday at the Mid-South, it's supposed to be like 10 degrees.
Oh, geez.
So, oh yeah, it's been cold around here. I've been doing a little bit of riding. It's been 40 degrees. So it's been 40 degrees with no sunshine and just rain on every couple of days. So it's just a soupy mess. So this week it's finally gotten cold enough where the ground's actually frozen. So it's not just a soup fest. But no, I've just been trying to get some good riding in. It's been tough this off season with all the slop that we've had up here in Ohio.
Is the cold weather later in the year this year, or is it just normal?
Yeah. Last year it was like this too. I think the year before it started that trend, but normally it's, I think the last 3 Christmases were no white in Ohio. And that's just wild. My whole life growing up, I had white Christmas every single year.
Well,
so
that's
with all the snow
for you. What Christmas thing going on? Really? Rubbing it?
Yeah. You enjoy your 50 degrees and sunshine and beaches, buddy. I'll enjoy the ice and snow and dealing with all the drivers and rush hour traffic in the morning.
I think we had a frost one Christmas, so there was some ice on the plants and the ground a little bit. And I think we had a heat wave one Christmas that was like 85.
Yeah. That's solid. That's solid. I think this year it was 40 degrees or something at Christmas. It was just wild. It's always freezing, always snowy. This last 3 seasons it's been pushed back. So now it's finally, I think, going to be cold enough so where the ground's frozen and not a slop fest where you can actually put in good laps, not just do mud riding.
I can't remember a holiday where I did nothing. I mean, seriously, did nothing. And my wife and I sat on the couch and watched movies, and I had a fire, and we just sat. Cody, you and I have had long conversations. I'm always doing something, whether I'm doing it with a podcast or I'm building the quad in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Quad at where I work. And I sat on the couch, and you'll never guess, Adam McGill texts me out of the blue. Well, not out of the blue. I've been trying to get him on the show forever. And he texts me, he goes, if you're free, I'm driving to Florida.
Bored looking for something to do. May as well get on the podcast.
Yeah, might as well have a conversation, right? There's no video.
Oh, yeah.
But on Christmas Day, my wife, I took 2 hours out of the movie time. And by the time I got connected with Adam, I talked to Adam for, an hour and a half on Christmas. And while he
good stuff. How'd that go?
Better than expected because we couldn't stay on topic. We bounced around from cross country to 2-strokes to rules to, history. I mean, it was just, Adam.
Oh
It's
yeah.
been a long time. We talked, KTM's. We just had a great conversation. He's a good dude. I really enjoyed getting to know him a little bit better,
Hmm.
and learning. So it was good.
Oh,
And
he's been doing it at the highest level for a long time. So he knows what he's doing, what's going on over there. He's still on that dinosaur, but maybe he'll learn one day.
well, that does come out in the uh podcast about what he intends to do, and I'm not gonna. It's gonna. I'm talking to you, and we're gonna air after the
Oh
fact. So
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
he's gonna ride a
Okay.
Honda forever. He's not changing.
Hey, he's comfortable on it. He's got a good program, and not why don't fix what's not broken. Got to win this year, I think, and several podiums. So
Yeah, and he collected enough parts that he can race for years on what he has. So
yeah, fair
why
enough.
change, right?
Right? Yeah.
So this is the first time that we've had the background that you have behind you. Why don't you fill me in a little bit on what you got going on back there? Because I'm blind and I can't read all that stuff. So
No, you're good. This is the wins from this year. I got 5 wins this year. 5 wins from this year. I got some miscellaneous other 4x4 wins up top there. Um, all sorts of amateur trophies and medals and some of my favorite pictures. And I got another wall over there with 2022's wins and some special awards. And I got a championship wall with last year's poster.
nice.
Got that going on. Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome little room there. How did the banquet go for you guys?
Good. It's smooth sailing. It was a good night. No complaints, no drama. Just good time. And then me and Lacy went skiing at Snowshoe where we race. That's our ski spot. And it's that's where she grew up skiing. Her family has a cabin at the bottom of that mountain, and so that place is special to her. And I talked her into skiing the next day, and that's where I proposed at the top of the world at Snowshoe. So never seen it coming.
That's what I was. That's what I was. The story I wanted to come out right there.
Oh, yeah. So I've been, it's been overdue, but she would have taken a ring top. I want to get her a ring she deserved, So saved up, got me a nice ring, and tried to figure out how to do it. It's for her. Like I can't just do it at my banquet. So I was like, that Snowshoe. I was like, we're going to my banquet. I'll just, I mentioned it like Tuesday, Wednesday that week. I'm like, let's go to Snowshoe, just on a whim. Like I'm feeling it, and she bit the bait and we went, and her dad asked for photos. I'm like, let's go to the top of the mountain, get some nice photos. We don't got any nice photos. And we set up the phone. I'm like, set it on record. So, we can take screenshots and whatever. So I got her. I got her good.
So she had no clue.
None.
Let me ask you: Did you go old school and ask Dad first?
I did not want anyone to know. I did not want anyone. It's a long time coming. He knew it was coming. I talked to him. He was the first person we called. So got that off the hook.
Nice.
But no, I just wanted it to be a surprise. I didn't want anyone to know anything. I didn't tell my mom until like that Wednesday or something. She was the only person that knew.
You didn't want her to give away your secret, huh?
Nope. So that was
That's
that.
Cool. That's too cool. I love to hear things like this. Not always do you get excitement like this. I get to know you. I get to know you. I get to know a lot of the other people that come on the show or people through it. So living a little bit of your life and getting excited about the things that are going on with you. I know it sounds probably corny, but we are distant friends. I've never physically met you, but I feel that we've become friends, and I have quite a few people through the industry that way, and I enjoy hearing these stories from everybody to get along and know what's going on in their lives. And I think that the fans, that may not know everything that goes on with you behind the scenes, really love to hear this kind of stuff too.
Yeah. No. I appreciate learning everything you do for me in the sport, and do anything for you, anything you need at any time, brother. But no, yeah, we'll just do one more little tidbit about what I got going on in my life, but seeing who the rider is underneath the helmet, right? we go fast on quads and or dirt bikes or three wheelers or whatever the event is, but we're real people doing real things too. We've talked about before. I work 40 plus hours a week as an electrician. I'm getting ready to top out and next month in February and become a journeyman and be able to go and work for my dad and start the process of taking over the business. So I got a lot of really big things going on this year, starting to move over to my dad's company and start that whole process, getting married, got another dog this winter, and just life's rolling, man.
How old are you again?
25.
Well, dude, you're a baby. Yeah, but that's, you know what, knowing that you want a goal and you want to achieve it. How does your dad feel about you taking over the business?
I mean, he would have been fine, working for him, like just small time for himself. But I got into this racing thing, and he realized what it took to do the racing thing, and made the sacrifices to make the business what it is today. And as I was trying to find my own way in the world, I went to college, but when you're coming up through high school right now, no one ever tells you go into a trade or anything. It's not even an option. So I tried college, and it just wasn't for me. And I just, what do I want? I want to be a great dad, provide for my kids, and if I can go racing, provide for my family, I'm content. My dad does that plentifully, and I love the work. I love the people I'm around, the type of people I'm around, the good, blue collar dudes. It's it's meant for me.
That's great. When you have children, you never know what they're going to do.
Whoa.
No, I said when.
Slow down there, Leonard. Yeah, no, I'm shooting for 30. I'm very excited. I'm shooting for 30.
That's okay. I didn't have a plan. I mean, I did not have a plan. I didn't know. I didn't even know that I was going to work in the ATV world. My dad had the business, and so things changed, and in 86, 87, there was a big change. I know that's a long time ago. I know.
Before my time.
Yeah, things changed, and I went and did some construction, and there was a lull in construction, and my brother had taken over, and I came to work for him, and that was back in the 80s, and here we are today. But what I was getting at with kids is, you want them smart, healthy, and happy, or healthy, happy, and smart. And I would have loved my son to follow in my footsteps, or to work in my trade, but I'm also super proud of the direction that he's went in. And you can't. He's more successful at that, and I think being able to provide for his family. And I think your dad's probably the same way. I'll help you any way I can, but just don't go down the wrong road.
Yeah, no. He did not want me to be a hammer swinger. Let me tell you, he wanted me to go to college and go suit and tie and go do something. But he wanted me to be a plastic surgeon. If we're just going to be frank, that's what he wanted me to do. I went and shadowed at a couple places. I watched a couple nose jobs. Let me tell you how brutal that is. If you've never seen it. But no, it just wasn't for me. I just like I said, I just want to provide for my coming family, and do my racing, and just provide a good home for good electricians.
Cody Collier.
Take care of your guys; they'll take care of you. It's that simple, and it's just you just don't see it in the work world. Everyone's just like, we're just going to cut corners and step over dollars to pick up pennies, and I just want to make a good home for good electrician.
I so agree with that. Too many people are grabbing pennies and losing dollars.
Oh yeah. No, it's just now. We'll get off that tangent, but no, I'm very excited for my career, and then I'm overly excited about what I've accomplished so far in my racing career and what I've got left to prove and do. And got a lot of big things going on right now for sure.
Let me ask you this: if you could sum it up for the younger people that are listening to this, what is being a solo? I know that racing is not a solo thing, but it's solo when you're out there on the machine. What do you think that has taught you that you carry over into life?
Oh, everything, the racing's made me the man I am. I think more than anything, just the learning of trial and error and risk assessment and growth. And, if you start to see this racing at a high level, you can take that same vision and anything else. Like it's, Lacy hates that I'm good at pretty much everything. I'm good at pretty much everything. Like I really try. I try to, if I'm playing pool, right? Like I'm sitting in front of the pool table right now. I'm like, okay, how does a pro do this? What are they seeing? What are they looking for? What's the angles, the cuts, and try some things out. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try and fail. Pretty much.
That's excellent. So, what you're saying is that being a racer has taught you to give 110% to everything you do.
Absolutely. It just yeah, no, it just you get out of it what you put into it, you reap what you sow. So, I put my heart and soul into racing my entire life, and it's gotten me here. Number one ranked 4x4 rider in the country. It's awesome. It's just looking back on it, it's hard to believe that I've got here, but it's been grit and grime and determination and racing 8 times on a weekend, just between all the mini and youth races, and even jumping on the dirt bike and then racing the adult race on a 250, and just all the hours on a quad, and just every time I got on the quad I was trying to learn something. Just every time I was trying to learn something, trying something different, trying to break late, break early, just testing things in different scenarios. That's why we talk about how I see the track. I can see what happens before it happens because I've been there, and I've tried all the stupid stuff, and I know it doesn't work too.
And you still learn every day, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's little things. Once starting at the bottom. If you're down on ground level, there's a ladder that goes straight up, right? And the rungs are really big. And, you can take leaps and bounds at the bottom. Really jump from C to A class. But once you get to that A class, the rungs are really tight, and it's just you're inching. Just gaining tenths of a second in a corner here and there, and just learning the little things. And as incredible as I thought I was on a sport quad, Walker and Bryson were still pulling a minute a lap on me. And I'm just, how do I get there? I feel like I'm almost killing myself, and these guys are they're just the top 5 are just another tier, and that's that pro sport quad class. So it's just be always trying to get there and see what they're seeing, and my back kind of limited me on that a little bit. I think it would have been more competitive, but those guys are wild, and I'm just always trying to see what they're seeing.
How many years ago did you switch over to the 4x4?
I believe this was my 4th full season. My first season was a lot of trial and error and wrecking the quad and seeing the limits of the 4x4. My second year was pretty close. Landon beat me by probably like 30 or so, almost 30 points. I think we brought it down to the last round, and I wrecked out really bad at that round. Yeah, so I wrecked out the last round that year. So not a good show. Not the end of the year that was. Me and Landon had a good year going my year 2, but then I won the next 2. The last 2 years I've won it. So it was just adjusting the quad, learning the quad, not being afraid to make those mistakes and learn from it, and move forward from it.
Yeah, I was talking to Brandon because I had him. He's coming out tomorrow in his episode, and I think I told you this already. I thought when I started watching the 4x4 with Landon there, I thought that guy would never get beat. And then, bam, Cody Collier comes out and freaking takes his title away from him. And I'm just like, wow, I guess I don't know anything about this. I need to shut my mouth and watch.
Yeah, but the first year off, Landon didn't race the full season. So, that first year kind of felt cheap to me. That my first title felt cheap. Landon didn't race the full season. Brandon wasn't, up the pace yet. You had players here and there that 22, but this last season, Brandon was ready to roll round 1. He led almost all of round 1, ready to go. And then me and Landon led half of round 1, and then he tagged a tree, and I got into the back of him. We got tangled up pretty good, went flying end over end. But no, they both showed up ready to play this year. They both raced every single round. There's no excuses from any of us. We all had ailments and problems this year, and this one felt real.
Yeah, because it was pretty much touch and go until 2 rounds to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was close. I had some bad showings in the middle of the year just with I had a couple injuries and illnesses, and then my front bumper fell off at snowshoe -1 bolt and tried to kill me for 2 hours, and just some stupid little things. But I won every race that was close. I think every race that minus um buckwheat. I took a bad line with a lapper, and Landon was able to pinch me off and get the win at buckwheat. But no, I won every race that was close. Every race I was in contention in. I from 40 seconds down on the last lap made the charge and won every race I was ready for.
Right.
Minus buckwheat. But then every other race I just had an issue or sick or just wasn't my day.
And that's racing, the fastest guy doesn't always win.
No.
It takes, there's, as much as I'm going to hate saying this, there's luck involved.
Oh yeah, no, I got a little bit of luck this year, which is weird because I never get any luck. Georgia this year, I got the win. Landon and Brandon were putting it to me. I was still recovering from my Florida illness. They're only a week apart, so I was, post flu, not feeling 100%, and just kind of rode my race in third. And Landon got wedged in trees and at the middle of the second or third lap, and he was done. Never seen someone wedge a 4x4 in trees like that. They had to take a chainsaw and get him out. If you guys heard the show, we've talked about that before. But
yeah.
No, and then on the last lap with like 3 miles to go, Brandon was sitting there with the blown motor. So I got a lucky race this year. I'll take that one. But other than that, it was just good, clean, hard racing. Just a couple problems here and there.
Yeah, I remember. Well, yeah, if you'd have DNF the last race, you'd have lost the title.
Oh yeah, no. If I got below third place, I would have lost the title. So right. I didn't feel like taking any chances that day. Landon didn't show up, so I was kind of goofing off in second by myself. And Hayden ended up catching me on the last lap and racing me really, really hard at the end, and just the guy into me with like 2 corners to go, and it was whatever, man. Take the second today. So right. No, I knew I needed third. Rode my pace. Landon wasn't there. Just rode around. Didn't take no risks. I proved all I needed to prove this year, and just ready to go again for 24.
Do you see anybody that we had talked about, that it ended up on the podium besides you three coming into the fold this year?
It's like those top 5 in that XC1 class. Bison's a minute ahead of me. We're kind of a minute ahead of everyone else. Mickelson seems to have showings here and there where he can run the pace here and there. I hope my buddy Gavin Jenkins steps up. He seems to be the guy there with Hayden right now. Braden Reed, the 4x4 A class winner, stepping up, and Caden Worf, shout out Elite Graphics. Matt Worf, his son Caden is moving up to 4x4 Pro class. It was a really tight battle in the A class last year, so they'll be fun, frisky. They'll be exciting to watch for sure.
Oh, so you're getting some new blood, and people are getting more seasoned, so the competition could be tighter.
Yeah, I think me and Brandon are just going to go crazy this year. It's just going to be a slugfest this year between me and Brandon, and then the few races Landon shows up. I don't know what kind of prep he's going to do. If he's going to be there with us all race, or if he's just not going to have it. I don't know what his program is going to be. He's always going to come ready to play, but me and Brandon want it real bad. I know he does. I know I do. So
yeah, you guys are going to have a good season. I think that the class is growing and it's exciting. To be totally honest with you, when you look at your social media platform, yours and Brandon's, it just excites you to watch those videos, to see those heavy machines, the way you guys ride them and make them look so fluent, and you guys make it look easy.
Yeah, that's what the pros do, right? That's what the pros do, but
they can't be that easy to ride.
It's just all pre-planning. It's all proactive, no reactive. Do not be reactive on a 4x4. It's just not happening. So you got to be very proactive and planned and, precise and, execute.
I don't remember if you or Brandon, but I was watching the machine as we brake, the front end would dive down and the machine would get sideways. And it looked like the tires were trying to rip off the rims.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of weight, a lot of inertia, and so something's got to give. Tires are the softest spot. They're going to bend a little bit, and part of racing the 4x4 is knowing when it's going to do that and how hard it's going to do that based on how hard you throw it in the corner, on what degree you throw it in, with what camber, with what dirt, with what it all factors in.
Do they roll very easy? I mean,
oh yeah, they're very top heavy compared to a sport quad. Yeah, they're like, if you go into an off camber section, it's not really comparable. Like, you just can't hang. So like at local races, when I'm racing against like pro riders, like I would beat at a national where the locals are tighter and more off cambered, it's tightens things up for sure.
so you have to be more on your toes, keeping the machine or keeping your body over the high side so that it doesn't roll.
Yeah, so like, let's say it's just like a little left-hand off-camber rut and just through some trees. They'll be able to toss that quad into there and dump the clutch, right, and shoot right out of it straight. The 4x4, if you try to do that, all that momentum is going to throw right. It's hard to counter. It's much harder to counter that.
Okay.
A little clutch dump, and you're pulling straight with a sport quad. On the 4x4, it's different, trickier.
Do you notice that with the centrifugal clutch that your style of riding changes so that you're always in the throttle?
With the 850, yeah, that's why I was part of the reason I chose the 850 was because you could just lay on it and it was a little bit more controllable and wasn't trying to pull the front end up as much. With the 1000, it's gonna be more about throttle control, and that's gonna be the adjustment I'm gonna have to make, is just being a little more careful about throttle control, trying to get good drives, good traction instead of spinning so much. But with the four-wheel drive, you just point and shoot, and those front tires are going to pull you whatever direction you're aiming, pretty much.
But does the CVT have a lag in it, like some of the other machines out there with CVT?
Oh yeah, it's like it's a mini turbo, kind of. Think of it as like a mini turbo. It takes a minute to spool up and get the RPMs up where you want them.
So you're never really out of the throttle, then, is what you're saying.
You get into the throttle earlier than you think you should.
Right.
And I'm more of like a momentum rider. Brandon's more of a gas and brake guy, and I'm more of a momentum and flow guy. So just different riding styles for it, for sure.
Are the clutches? You don't give out secrets if you don't want to. Are the clutches adjustable on the stock machines?
Not really. The clutches aren't really adjustable. You can get aftermarket ones, but there's not a lot you do to them once you get the clutch. You pretty much just slap it in.
So
I mean, you can get different styles with different tensions and different rollers for different heat. They have like just like a solid plastic bearing that rides on, and that creates more heat than like a ball bearing. So we run the ball bearings.
The belts, do they live an extremely long time?
Depends on the guy. If my dad was to race a full season, he could probably get a full season out of the belt. Maybe one change of summer break. My dad would probably get a full season out of one. Me, I'm lucky to get 3 races out of one.
So do you automatically, after the second race, change the belt?
We do it every single race for the national quad. And then, we'll resell the old ones to different people at KMK, or I'll throw it on local quads that need a new belt.
And they get more life out of it than you would because they're not riding it the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Before I started racing the 4x4 pro class, they weren't going fast. Like, we weren't going fast enough to have to pit. Once I came to the 4x4 pro class, me and Landon were running out of gas and having to pit.
And how do you guys have a quick fill system for that?
No one's done it yet. I hope no one does it. If no one does it, it's all fair. It's just dump in gas and go, right? You can make a little canister, but like, until someone buys a $500 quick fill piece, I'm not going to go and do that purchase for no reason. How much
time would it save you?
Almost none, just depending. If we get good cap off and cap on first twist, not really any time. maybe a second.
Okay, so it's not worth $500.
Not to me. Not to me. So, and me and my mechanic really, sat down. He designed a really good one, and I got it, and I made some modifications to it, and it works fantastic. So,
okay,
so it's like I have like an inch and a quarter. I'm gonna tell everyone my secret. I got like an inch and a quarter outlet with like a 2-inch canister, maybe like a 3-inch canister, and then the 2-inch outlet, 2-inch air inlet, and then it's inch and a quarter out, so it's just pumping it out.
And
that's all it is.
How many gallons do you drop?
We go for 1.5 gallons to 2. We use at least 1 gallon, but it's so quick. Like you just put a little extra fuel in there, so it just dumps it quicker.
And that's just an insurance policy, basically.
Yeah, may as well. Don't hurt nothing to have it, and it dumps out just as quick in my head with the extra weight. So,
are you calculating the length of the course, the time of the course, so that you ever come up to where, you know what, I might be able to make this race without fueling?
I've done it once or twice and just waved them off, like where I knew like the track was slow and I didn't have a lot of wheel spin and I wasn't on the throttle a lot and there was a lot of just low RPMs and rolling, you could feel it, So I think I've 2 nationals ever I've skipped out on fuel since we started fueling.
Have you ever drained the fuel to see where you were at the end of the race to see if you really needed it?
When I first switched to KMK with Mike Seegers, I was talking to BNR Motorsports, and I was telling him, like, dude, I feel like I'm starting to need gas. Like, I got like a bar after every single race left on my fuel light, right? And I think it was after Penton one year, and I loaded up my quad into the trailer right after the race. Just finished the race, did podium, straight to the trailer. Went home, unloaded it from the trailer, went to ride it to the creek. I ride up and down the creek and give it kind of a pre-wash before I pull it up to the wash rack, loosen up the frame and wheels and everything. It ran out of gas on the way to the creek. After they were telling me, there's no way you need gas. Like, there's just no way. They're like 5.5 gallon tanks. And I ran out of gas on the way 100, like a couple hundred feet after the race. If the race was another mile, I don't know if I would have made it at race pace. So that's when we started fueling, was after that one. I'm like, all right, I'm done. No more risks. We're fueling.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And there's no room to blow the tank up or put a larger tank in there?
It is illegal to have an aftermarket tank in the 4x4 Pro class.
Okay.
I believe. Like there's a fuel capacity is the rule.
Okay.
So I've heard of people do like heating up their tanks and pumping air into it to expand it, and it got brought up to me, like someone suggested that I do it, and I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm not cheat. I don't cheat. Some people think I question that, but I do not cheat.
Well, bending the rules isn't cheating. Breaking the rules.
It's not even bending the rules. Yeah, it's not even bending the rules. It's black and white.
But I'm just saying, bending the rules is not cheating. Breaking the rules is cheating.
Yeah. No, there's no gray area. It's black and white.
On that one, I agree. So that being said, for 2024, are there any significant rule changes that have come up that change any aspect of your planning for the races?
No significant changes to me. They mentioned they're enforcing 50 inches this year. They're gonna have stakes to enforce 50 inches, which I was already within 50 inches. So, other than that, I don't know. Just switching to 1,000, same program. Just figuring out a couple new sponsors. Just same program. We're rolling.
Were there guys running bigger than 50 inches?
It looked like a couple guys were pushing it. So.
Yeah, and a big machine like that, 50 inches would be almost narrow.
And it really helps the center of gravity and the speed you're able to carry through corners and through sections and everything. And GNCC being as wide open as it is, the wider the quad, the better. As long as you can still make it around the track, you might lose a half a second through a couple of sections, but like just the ability to hang on with the wider wheelbase is wild.
You think the sport quads, the XC1, XC2 guys, could go to closer to 50 inches?
I think that they're already sitting at like 48, and I don't think they want to go any wider.
I don't think they're that wide. I'm gonna have to make a couple calls because I thought they were closer to 47,
46. Yeah, they're right in there. They're right in there.
Because when Hunter, because Hunter's the one that talks the most. Hunter came out and raced the West Coast and rode the narrow bike, and then he rode the wide bike, and he goes, riding the wide bike is a huge difference compared to
Oh
the
yeah.
narrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just you can't, get fit through some sections on the MX bike.
Right. Well, the off-road bike on the West Coast, it's 50 inches, and that's, I don't even think they enforce the rule. I think they just say it's 50 inches and, run it.
Move on with it. I hear you.
I remember going through the deal measuring the width when we were racing motocross years and years and years ago, but I've never seen it done on the West Coast for off-road stuff. And in the desert, I don't even think they care. I don't even know what the rule says.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I
No, out
can't.
here East Coast, it's 50 inches, and it's never been enforced as long as I've been out there, and it's going to enforce this year. So,
Well, I think that's good. I mean, if you're going to have a rule, why not check it? Do they test you guys for sound?
no, we do not have audible testing. I imagine if there was an issue, they would test it, but like GNC does a lot of don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. Don't ask, don't tell. Like that's the wrong phrasing for it. But like if there's not an issue, we're not going to make it an issue.
Right. But they do the sport quad stuff though.
Oh, when I raced XC1, they didn't. I never got sound checked.
I think they sound check the sport guys, the XC1 guys.
They might have updated it. It's been a few years since I've been in the class, but back when I ran XC1, I never once got audible tested.
I think it's a waste of energy, but hey, what you got to do, what you got to do, right?
Yeah, whatever helps the insurance.
I don't think it's an insurance issue. I think it's a maybe if you're racing in a more a community where there's houses closer, which I don't know if any of your race courses are close to any.
We're racing. That's not that. Deal with it. Deal with it. We're racing.
Neighbors don't see it that way.
Well, talk to him about the next event. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. We're out there racing quads. Who cares about a couple? It's not like you're going double as loud as anyone else. You're just going a little bit louder with the bigger exhaust or whatever. I don't want anyone to pull up with no exhaust and just the head pipe, but no straight pipes. But
I raced a TT 500 on flat track with a straight pipe.
So yeah, I got my ears ring a little bit here and there. I'm thinking about starting to wear ear protection. Land Wolf always wore ear protection, even on those 1000s. They're loud. We got the dual exhaust. They bark. Dual HMF exhaust.
I rode the 700 V twin that Kawasaki made for a season, and it was behind me. It never seemed to bother me that much. And riding the 450s for all the years, I know that Eichner rode with earplugs because he said that it allowed him not to listen to the engine and feel the vibrations of the machine for shifting purposes.
Yeah, both work, I guess. I've never ridden with earplugs, so I couldn't tell you.
I know that sometimes when I'm tuning, I wish I didn't have to wear a helmet so I could hear it better.
Yeah. But he's saying turn those ears off, just feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you. Get in tune with your machine.
One of the coolest things about there's a dry lake bed not too far from us. It's about an hour drive. And if you really want to tune something, you go to this straight stretch of graded dry lake bed road. And it's so wide and so straight that, which I would never admit to this in a area where somebody was going to hold me to it. If you're having trouble dialing the tuning in, the best thing to do is rely on your feel senses, sensory perception, better than hearing or seeing. So close your eyes.
Okay.
You start to feel the vibration through the machine better. You can't do it for a long period of time. Everybody has their own number that they will keep their eyes closed as they're shifting through the gears on a machine. But I could get to a 20, 25 count before I'd open my eyes, knowing, that the road's straight. I got to hold it straight. I got to, as I shift through the gears. And it would give you a good feel, a better feel for the tuning. You could go back to the truck, make your tuning adjustments and go forward.
Yeah, you could feel where it was lagging, where it needed more pad, where it dropped off through the range. Absolutely.
And that was usually on only the machines that I struggled with. The ones that you don't have to do that. But my brother tunes with his ear. He just listens to me ride them and makes adjustments accordingly. So
I know. For me, like I know, I'm very much, it's not how well you ride your quad, it's how well you ride with your quad, right? So I'm very much in tune with my quad. I'm the variable. My quad's going to do what it's going to do. So I'm trying to receive as much feedback as I can, and then when I do something, I know how it's supposed to go, and I'm always looking for that feedback. So if I get into the throttle, I'm waiting to hear and feel that exhaust. All of it goes together for me. I'm not focused on it, but like it's more of like it's happening how I think it should.
So we were talking earlier about that you don't want to be reactionary, you want to plan. So when that's when that's happening with your dialing in of your suspension, how do you monitor the adjustments with less body English? Am I asking the question correctly?
So you're asking how much do I rely on suspension changes versus me being different on the bike?
Yes.
I rode the same so I got my first full season in 4x4 Pro. I raced like 3 or 4 races at the end of 2018. 2019 I raced 20, 21, 22, 23, my 4 years. So at the end of 19 at the end of 18 before I raced 19, 20, okay, end of 19. I'm sorry. End of 19 was my first year in 4x4 Pro. Raced a few races, and then at the start of 20, I got with Axis, and he gave me a setup, and I raced it once at Big Buck. I was like, "Hey, can you stiffen these up?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I want the fronts to be a little heavier, rears need to be a little heavier, but I like the balance. The balance is good. Everything works right. They just need to be stiffer." He made that adjustment for me, and I didn't touch them until this summer. So I raced on for 3.5 years with no adjustments. I messed with the clicker here and there. Just liked how they worked as well as I didn't, do any one-on-one sessions with Axis, and it was working, and I was good. And, I was on for 3.5 years, and I'm like, okay, now I fully understand these shocks fully. I know where they're good and bad. I got Axis, Micah McDonough with Custom Axis to do some shock testing with me this summer out at Mountain Ridge ATV Park. We used to have a few GNCCs there at the windmills. Did testing out there, and we ended up switching to triple rates. I used to run just dual rates. So the problem I was having was once you use up all the primary spring with like tilt, you couldn't really get into that secondary spring. It was so stiff. So it would just start tipping, right? Unless you threw enough weight to get into that secondary spring, but then it would rebound and you would just be sitting on that primary spring. So it would just have a lot of tip. So we switched to a triple rate shock where it's more progressive and I can control the lean more. And then they seem to be more, they seem to be smoother and choppier stuff. I feel way more comfortable doing stupid stuff. They're smoother. They take it much better. Feel more comfortable being uncomfortable on those shocks for sure. It helped with the tilt. I'm not diving into a corner and waiting for it to grab and pop. I know it's kind of got some roll to it now. And then they're a touch stiffer, so it's just a smoother ride with the triple rates.
That's great that you feel that comfortable and feel it that way. That's what I was trying to get that detailed answer from you, because I didn't know how to answer the question. I didn't know how to ask the question correctly, but you answered.
No, you're good. You're good. So
yeah.
So I started with the shock setup. I said, make it stiffer. I like how it works. That's always been my thing. If you've seen what I grew up riding on, you laugh. Like, just some of the messes I've had to race and ride, and wrong setups and goofy stuff. Shock setup for guys twice my weight, half my weight. My quad two times too big. 14 years old on a 450 setup for my brother, who's got a little beer gut on him, and it's just I just always rode whatever. I was the variable. Just show up and ride it. Show up and ride it, kids. So my dad would always tell me. So just figure it out. If you can make some adjustments, great. I just figured make them stiffer. I was bottoming out too much. I stopped bottoming out. I liked how they worked, and I just made it work. And the couple of things I had problems with over the years, we made those adjustments. So maybe I'll ride these for 3.5 more years and be like, oh, let's change this and this. So I'm the variable out there. I like my shocks. I feel like if you change your shocks every time you go and ride, how are you going to keep up with it? Just get a setup, learn how to ride it, learn what you're doing wrong and what the shocks are making you do wrong. There's a difference. People like to blame their setup too much.
Right on. I agree with that. Sometimes you guys, hey, when the green flag drops, doesn't matter what your setup is, you still got to ride.
Oh yeah, no, I got I love racing bone stock YFZs and coming up to locals. I won 3 overalls this year on a bone stock YFZs. I think twice it was stock tires even.
Nice.
So it's just it's so much more about the rider. You got all these C class and B class riders that are worried about buying Chris Borch's quad and getting float shocks, and just get a stock quad. Maybe put shocks on it. Don't even care that much. If you build a motor, you're not even handling all of a stock motor yet. Why are you putting more in there? You're not even getting all of the 45 horsepower that moderately built 450 gets. Just run something stock, run the piss out of it, and when you're bored with it and you want more power, that's when you get more power. Right. No one does that anymore. Everyone just wants to get the 60 horsepower motor and run.
And I think that they need 60 horsepower in the woods is like too much.
All the XC1, only the top 20, honestly, only the top 10, 15 guys can really handle it for 2 hours. And then you got some guys that are rolling with it.
I've talked to a few of those guys and they don't run that much power.
They don't need it's not about the power. It's nice here and there. Most people are probably running like low 50s, mid 50s, like 54 range, I think, mostly for the consistency of it. But like Boric back in the day, I think he was running like 66 horsepower in his Suzuki, and that's why he would just roll by people in the fields. He was incredible. That was one of his things. He had that Suzuki, and it would just you couldn't beat it.
Right, but yeah, it's just cross country racing is not about horsepower.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not at all. And I run the 850. I won the last 2 championships on an 850.
Right. I totally get it, brother. Hey, Cody, as always, man, I appreciate everything that you do for the sport, for ATV-TALK and the cross country industry. I'm assuming that we'll be having some race reports that we'll be doing this year. Starting in March, right? Or February. Thank you again so much, man. As always, it's a pleasure, young man. And congratulations on your up and coming wedding. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to share us with your family and friends. The podcast is available on all streaming platforms, and you can find us on social media as ATV-TALK Podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter.